Okay, so this is a 2017 Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Classic, and I just received today, I ordered a horn upgrade for it since this has a typical factory installed Roadrunner type meep meep horn, and that's it right there. Little round guy. Now this is attached. There's a metal bracket there, and we've got a 10mm bolt that actually attaches it to the frame of the motorcycle, and then the horn itself is just simply, it's got a threaded post on it with a nut on the back. Now I'm hoping that this will kind of be an easy replacement, and I'm gonna pause the video for a moment and I'll show you the new horn. Okay, so this is the new horn here, which just arrived today. This is a Denali Soundbomb Mini. That's the new horn right there. As you can see, it's got a center post similar to the factory with the two terminals. And then inside the box, you also received actually two metal brackets there. They're very thin. You can mount them together or separate, and a nut. So they gave you that, but with any luck, I'm going to attempt to reuse the bracket that's already on the bike. So let me pause the video once more, and we'll get back to the bike and pull off the old one and start putting the new one on. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do before we actually get started here, I'm going to turn the bike on. Okay, just so that this way here we can get a comparison of the before and after. So here is the horn, the factory horn. Okay, so that'll give you, and then once I've got the new one in, I'll give it a quick toot as well, so that we can compare them. All right, so let me pause this for a moment while I start loosening things up. Okay, so now we've removed the old horn. Now, one thing you don't have to worry about with the new horn, polarity, you don't have to worry about. Doesn't matter which one of the terminals that you put the wires on. It'll work either way. Now, just to give you some idea of the difference in size, that's the factory horn, and that's the Soundbomb, which it is obviously a little bit wider, so it will stick off the front of your bike a little bit more. It's roughly, I'm going to say maybe 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch larger in diameter, but overall it's roughly the same size as the stock. There's the back of that. So I'm going to pause the video once more and quickly put on, this is the factory mount. Now that's got two rubber washers on either side for vibration. So I'm going to reuse that in its entirety. This thing here has got a little flat tang that actually mates up right here, so that keeps it from spinning down on you. Now, one thing that I will point out that's kind of important is when you mount this, obviously you don't want water getting inside and accumulating inside there, so this will have to be mounted with this pointed either slightly angled downward, or in this case here, I think I'm going to try and mount it with the horn pointing straight down. That way there I won't need to worry about any kind of water getting up inside there and being able to accumulate inside. So I'm going to put this on pause for another moment while we mount that to the bracket. Okay, one thing I am going to point out, the factory horn has an inner and an outer washer, and they actually seat on either side of this rubber piece, and that kind of isolates that from vibration. So I am going to reuse them Now, the two washers are different. The silver one, which is the inner one, has a larger diameter opening in the center, and the outer washer, the one that's black, has a smaller opening. Now, this will fit right on. If you look at the Denali, there's that little bit of a round land at the bottom, and the inner washer actually fits so that it seats right over that with no problem. Okay, so it's just, you know, be mindful of the fact that the two washers are different. So that one will go on the inside. And since we're going to be mounting this down, this bracket's going to go over that just like that. And then the outer washer and the nut. Okay, I'm going to pause this really quickly while I put that all together. Okay, so here is the Denali Soundbomb Mini horn in place. It works out quite nice. The only thing I will mention, the two washers that I was talking about and the rubber, the isolation grommet that went in between on the factory bracket. For whatever reason, the threaded post, you can see in there, there's the nut that's on that. That threaded post on the Denali horn is considerably shorter, there we go, than the post that comes on the factory horn. So that rubber isolation grommet, I wasn't able to use that. The two factory washers are in there, the inner one and the outer one. But I had to remove that, and I don't know if that's going to affect the performance of it. I believe that that rubber grommet really just isolates the horn itself from vibrations from the motorcycle. So only time will tell if that's going to be a problem with this horn. But now that we have that installed, the one thing I did do that they recommend in the instructions is once you've mounted it, you want to go ahead and turn your handlebars. There you can see how that looks. It is a bit bigger than the factory horn, but doesn't look goofy or anything like that. But you want to turn your handlebars from lock to lock, left to right, and just make sure that it's not interfering. And actually, you know, since this is the factory horn, kind of favors the left side of the bike. That bracket is only about, I'm going to say it's 2 3/4 inches long. So the horn does kind of sit off to one side, over to the left. With the handlebars turned all the way to the left, there's about 3/4, almost an inch of clearance between the fork and the horn. So we should have no issues there. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the bike on again. And we'll give it a try. Yeah, so that is not a crazy amount louder than the original, but it's definitely louder, which should help, you know, get me noticed if somebody is either coming over into my lane without realizing I'm there or doing something else stupid kind of in front of me. So there you have it. The whole installation took me probably not even 2 or 3 minutes. Took more time to screw around with the iPhone to take the video than it did to actually mount it, so it's a very straightforward. This does not require a relay. This mounts straight in with your factory wiring, and that's one of the reasons why I went with this. If I had gone to the louder horn, and at some point I might actually, if I don't think this is loud enough, change over to an air horn, but those will require a relay. So there you have it. Denali Soundbomb Mini horn installation on a 2017 Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Classic. Thanks for watching.